introduce somebody that in my short time here, I've learned a lot of stuff from, things I never thought I could accomplish, and I'm excited to see where this goes. So I'd like to introduce our president and CEO, the man with the plan. What do you want? How do you get it? Mr. Andy Albright.
All right. Hey, great news. We have unprecedented growth. We have had 6 weeks of just steady increased numbers. This week, we had a better week. I can't believe it. Number of unique riders was up by about 30, and application account was up by 1 more than last week. So 1 counts as more. So our goal is this week to have 1 more, or maybe 20 more, or maybe 100 more. But the business is out there. Like I said, people's mind is open right now to change and opportunity. So there's so many little tools. Like I always say, like the best tools you got is at the end of your arm. Like, will you pick up your hand and will you start dialing? But if there's a tool that'll help you do something faster or easier, like there is a thing called mapline.com. It is the easiest way to take an Excel spreadsheet and pop it down in a map, and then you can map out where all your leads are. I'm going to put that up. This is, Paul Menachino said he will have another up week. Jan Miller says she's going to have another up week. This is good stuff on how many people are just prospering during these crazy psycho times. Hey, by the way, how about this? Can we go with this? We will not walk in fear, but we will walk in wisdom. Meaning, we will get the facts, we will be cautious, we will do right, and we will proceed. The key being, we will walk. That don't mean we're not driving a car, by the way. That means we're going to move. Okay, we ain't going back to horse and buggy kind of strategies. But it is a lot of fear out there. I'm trying to get this up because I want you to use this. I'm going to put this on the agency managers, and if the agency managers would get this out to people, it's a mapping program to how to map out where all your leads are. You can do it with agents too, but that's not a bad idea. When then we see where our agents are, I could click on that map and see who's there, agents that are producing. But this map line is just a great tool. There's another tool, the thing called the ARC, Agent Resource Center. When it first came out, people was like, that's just where I see my paycheck. But now you're seeing why we named it the Agent Resource Center, because there's so many things that are going to be around the ARC that you're going to be able to use. So one of the things Robbie was showing me, and I freaked out on it, Robbie, come over here for a minute. Don't get socially too close, but it's this system. You can click on your entire group, your organization, and you can see all your active agents and all your inactive, and you can sort that into an Excel spreadsheet so easy. Robbie showed me how to do it. It's like a button. So if you didn't know this, is this just available to agency managers?
Everybody.
Everybody can do this. So everybody can click on their group, can see all their agents. Yep. So you can download that and then put it into a zip whip. And here's what I'm recommending. The inactive people that are licensed, texting out and saying, hey, did you do that? Did you already do that today?
We're doing it right.
You hadn't done it yet?
Not
They're doing it as you speak. Yep. So like, what's that guy's now? Dennis Lyons?
Yep.
Yeah. So Kyle Cater can go down and print out, he can download a group of Dennis Lyons inactive agents, and he can say, hey, this is Kyle Cater. That I work with Dennis Lyons, and I know you were coming on board but just couldn't get things going. In these unprecedented times, you have a life insurance license. I can show you how to take advantage of it. Boom! And you can pop that out to 20, 30, 40, 50 people and just say, under these unprecedented times, you have a shot right now, because nobody else can get, I don't know about every state, but in North Carolina, you can't, if you failed, if you ain't got your test, if you're in the middle of it, if you were poking, you ain't going to get done until April 17th is the next shot that you got to get your license. It's not my fault you took forever, but if I didn't talk to you until now, it's my fault. But if I talked to you and you didn't pass, or you still taking your license, that's on you. April 17th, you get a chance. You say, what can I do, Andy, if I ain't got my insurance license? Well, I don't know. Maybe you could do delivery food. You could do, what's that thing, what they call Uber Eats?
Uber Eats.
Maybe you get you a job at Uber Eats. I heard you could make like $18 an hour or $22 an hour. That's not like insurance money, but it's you know, if you can't do insurance, you do Uber Eats, or you do Uber straight up, or Uber Elite, or Uber, what's that?
That's what he sent out. He got 4 yesterday texting that.
Oh.
That's from Menachino.
Hey, Robbie, this is Paul Menachino of the Alliance. Haven't talked with you in a while. Oh, so this is like he was recruiting you.
So these are what he texted his inactive agents yesterday.
He texted his, listen to this, Fitz, listen to this, Paul Roberts, Jeremy. Hey, Robbie, so you put that parentheses in there, you know, the zip width, you put that bracket. First name bracket. Hey, Robbie, this is Paul Menachino with the Alliance. Haven't talked with you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Crazy what's going on right now in America, ... It's critical to have 3 dots there. Just wanted you to know we could really use some help out there. People are buying life policies like crazy. If you're bored and want to help, let me know. I like that. Here's what I would put. Is this talk?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Bob, Albright here. ... Hadn't touched base with you in a while, but these are crazy times, and I thought I would reach out just because we have the ability to do stuff from home and online, and some people are actually considering it essential and getting out of the house, ... If you're interested in any of this, hit me back up. Something like that's what I'd put. You can play around that, but you see that's more informal. Hey, Bob, Albright here. Just boom. But he got 4 people back.
Yes.
And started.
Active today.
That worked. Back and active today, baby. Listen, when your mind gets opened up, you get creative. We are a can-do organization. And we are a will-do organization. And we are a do-do organization. Don't take that wrong. Okay? We do to do, that's what I mean. I don't mean like poopy do. Oh, well, that reminds me of a little dog I used to have. Woo! All right, so tell me how this works in the ARC. How do I go to it? Where do I click? What do I see? Blah, blah, blah.
So when you log into your ARC account,
Mr. Techie.
There's a few tabs. Your first tab is My Business. Your second tab is Team. If you click on the Team tab, a link under the Team tab says Hierarchy List. And when you click on Hierarchy List, it is going to default to show you all of your active agents that have done something in the last 90 days. So if they have sold a policy, they are active. If they had somebody sell a policy, they are active. Or if they've gotten fast-tracked in the last 90 days, we're active. So basically, if they're new or if they've done something in the last 90 days, they're going to show active on that sheet. But what Andy is referring to is filtering it by inactive agents. To show your inactive agents, there's a little checkbox at the top left-hand corner that says Show Inactive Agents. And then there's a button that says CSV, and all CSV means is put it in an Excel sheet. And essentially, after you have it in an Excel sheet, you can filter out your active people, you can filter out your inactive people, or if you have a really big business, so like if you're Paul Roberts trying to look at one specific, or if you're Kyle Cater trying to look at Dennis Lyons, all you have to do is you can imitate Dennis Lyons's inactive or active agents, put that in an Excel sheet, and you can use it. So Kyle's doing it right now. You can, the button is export to CSV, put that in a spreadsheet, and President's Club, Chris Hill or Chelsea Long or Celine or anyone in President's Club can show you how to load that in ZipWhip, and you can start texting people at a 50 clip. So if you have 400 inactive agents, you press a button 8 times, you send out 400 text messages, 10 people respond back, I'm interested, what can I do from home? And then you just got 10 inactive people back active in a process of 15 minutes, utilizing the tools that the ARC has got at your disposal, baby.
Yeah.
I would hit 50, pop, pause a couple minutes, because you're going to get hit back. You know why? Because at home. Don't hit 8 in a row. Don't go boom, boom, boom. Don't do that. Hit 50 and count 1001. You're going to get a hit.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, Bo. It's like fishing in my ponds out at the cabin. Them things are well stocked because they can't get out of the pond right now. These people the same way. They're locked up in a house. They scared. Hey, we've been feeding them good because we know they're stocked up on food. They held up. They held up in there. You hit them with that text. Here's the way they are right now. They're sitting in their house going, oh God. They might be a little lit. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard liquor sales is up. All right, but you know what I'm saying? Just hit that, boom, 50 goes out, boom, and then give it 1,001. Maybe you might ought to call one of your agents and say, hey, I just sent my 50, and then I'm waiting a second. Boom, I got one. And then you call them right there. Boom, call them back. So I'm not kidding, Bo. This thing's urgent. Now, don't let this get in the way of you selling, because remember, you only got 2 things to do, sell and recruit. Right. This is just one of them. Okay, because we're trying to break the sales. We've been 6 weeks in a row, every single week increasing. And by the way, the premium was up by about 50,000 this week, and the new writers or unique writers was up by about 30. But app count, we just beat it by 1. Okay, so we got to beat that app count at least by 1 or 100, and then the premium app up, and then the number of writers up. Okay, so FaceTime's working. Zoom is working, phone calls. I have people that ride up to people's house and call them and see. They can see them through the window. They give them a look through the window, and they look through the car. You know how to get. I've seen them where they're standing outside the window. I had Debbie Ben. She had a little flip down chair. She was typing in right here, and then a man felt sorry for her because it's raining on her, let her in the house. But he stood way over there. Okay, this is essential, baby. Woo! What else? What else we got to click on, Robbie?
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, you go to hierarchy list. If you want to sort by active or inactive, if you click on the inactive button, put in a CSV.
Is there a video out there telling how to do this?
I did a video yesterday, but Kyle is going to do a video as soon as the activity call ends, and show you how to how you would do it as an agent, and how he was going to impersonate one of his agents, and how he would load that in a zip whip. Right, Kyle?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we've got a Honda engineer on that task. So I did a video yesterday, but it's been upgraded since, a couple of minor enhancements that Kyle's going to talk about today. The video will launch at about, I'm guessing, 11:30 today. So.
Hey, the handouts for the show today, they're on here somewhere on band, right? Does everybody have a copy of those?
It was in the e-blast that was sent out.
Let's get that put back up on agency managers. Make sure people getting it out. Right. There's only 7 slides today, but you're going to want to read them and take notes on them. Oh, hey, did y'all know that Forrester's was doing a $1,000 giveaway again? If you write 30,000 with Forrester's in March, and we got half the month left, and people are all at home, Forrester's, by the way, is issuing everything because they're like, we feel sorry for America. I think that's their contribution, is to issue everything so we can get paid. We have had a couple of cases, people were dying and they didn't issue it because they were dying. But if you can get them alive, Forrester's is taking them. I mean, is this what you're saying? Didn't you have one you submitted, just went in and got issued just like that?
It was
like within 5 minutes. And I think they're issuing them from home, to tell you the truth. I think they got the go button. Issue, 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 issue. Huh?
I hit submit in 5 minutes.
Submit, 5 minutes later, issued. So $500 from Forrester's if you do 20,000 this month, $1,000 if you do 30,000 this month. And Stephanie Rodriguez down there close to my hometown, outside of between Tampa and Lakeland, she is killing it. Part of Mike Hartlett's team. By the way, Mike Hartlett said his whole organization was just blowing up. As a matter of fact, how about this? Number 1 and number 2 in the Forrester's contest is Mike Hartlett, which is Andy Riddle. This organization, I don't know if George goes by George or Jorge, Jorge. He's got 2 great names, Jorge or George Weinstein. And he tells me he's down in the West Palm, Miami. Minerve Profil. Minerve, go girl. I'd love to see you get another $1,000 in Canadians' money from Forrester's. Nick and Taylor, part of Chris Long's team, they are out there just having a record month. Issue paid Forrester's $7,000. Steve Brantley, oh dude, all up in that Tampa, Lakeland area, smoking. Issue paid $7,000. Lee Reyes on the West Coast, on the lockdown world. He's still knocking it out. Annette right over there. She's at $6,800. James and Stephanie Blaze, part of Mr. Abear's team. Austin Heater. Tim Sipe. Tim, you can do this. You make extra free cash. Marvin and Rachel. A lot of people on here. Check out this victory bonus. These leaderboards are available. See how close you are. Oh, I love the things you do on there. On the ARC's getting crazy. It's going to show you how close you are to getting a promotion now. Have y'all seen that? That's why it's the Agent Resource Centers. More and more resources. We're going to be able to pop up clients when they become their birthdays, or especially when they're turning 64. Because then you can get them set up for MedSup and Med Advantage. Just set them up and say, look, I'm your agent. Hey, the other thing, we still on, Alaskan cruise. Here's what the cruise ships are saying to us. We are 100% on go. But if we cancel, we'll give you all your money back, and you can reschedule and take your group later. But right now, if you cancel, which we're not, they would give us back like a portion of what we've paid, which is not good. So we're gonna say we're on go for June. The Canadian borders are closed right now, so our ship can go in Canadian waters, but then we're supposed to go to Canada. It's a law. So they said they got to work on that law. Maybe they'll just take cash, and then we don't come into Canada, and we just spend another day trying to eat all that food that's on the ship because everybody else ain't on there with us. Or we find somewhere else to go, a deserted island or something, you know, or so they say it's on go. So we're proceeding, or maybe everything blows over by June. I don't know. So I'm just telling you we're on go. This contest is in April, I think. January, February, March. When do we, April what? 21st. April 21st. So this one might get postponed too, but we're going to go. And they're already, let me tell you how crazy them Foresters people are. They already started talking about, hey, Albright, what you want to do April 1st? I was like, I don't know. He said, we want premium, baby. We're bringing it right now. So they're already talking about something. So this one you've only got 14 more days, right? And that's going to be over with. So you guys are close with Foresters. And let me tell you something. Don't get lazy. I heard a guy the other day, he said, you scared of money or you scared of work? I said, I ain't scared of neither one of them things. I ain't big on rattlesnakes and crocodiles. And a couple other things I ain't big on. but I'm big on a trip to Canada. All right, so if you are right on the bubble, or if you're on a bubble below or bubble above, matter of fact, you could be 20 behind right now. In the next 14 days, come on strong with Foresters, not to mention the victory bonus lap cash. So you got triple bonus right there. You got the victory, you got the trip to Foresters, and you got everything goes to Thailand. Oh, and you get paid. So that's a quad cycle right there. Them boys crazy. They got more money than they got sense. Okay, so I'm doing a thing in March that I'm going to give away $1,000 to anybody that wants to meet me in Houston. March 1st through March 31st. I don't know when we're going to go. We're going to go to Houston. The dates are out there. Right now, Megan Wood is already in for $1,000 cash. Brant Swindell's already in for $1,000 cash. Eric and Bobby Belair are like $100 away from $1,000 cash. Mark Hutchinson is just $1,000 away from $1,000 cash. Jeremy Patton is right there. And Carol Zainidine. By the way, I understand her. She got the best chicken in Texas. You can get your chicken from there. She's a restaurant owner, and they say that chicken's crazy there with this Carol girl. And she's writing the snot out of IUL. It's like, and then Jorge, George, you right there on this March Albright craziness, fanatical. So way to go, man. So those are the three big ones I want to talk about. Take a look at those, the March 2030. I mean, you just don't want to take it. You just don't want to let this opportunity go by. Remember this: whenever there's a catastrophe, whenever there's a disaster, whenever there's a victory, whenever people are winning, anytime there's a disaster or victory, people are open. They're interested and thinking. That's why we direct mail when people bought a house, because they're like, hey, we got a house. We got a house. Boom, we got a lead. We got it. You see how that works? Yep. And same thing when they refi. Anything like that happens, we call them life events. But when something affects the nation, or if it's a flood, if anything like that, you got to be ready. You can't go like, ah! You got to be like this. What happened? What happened? Does that make sense? Yeah. You know, you got to be, like in the movie. You see in the movies, like somebody always wins. You know what I mean? When California, in that earthquake movie, when California starts falling off the face of the earth, you know, and that one guy's like, I told told you it was going to happen. You know, he was fired up. That joker right there was open. Like if you'd had a helicopter swoop down and got him, you know, he'd have been out of there. And then the guy that was running, and then he got on a private plane. So you got to have a plan. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Hope y'all understand where I'm coming from. Be safe, be smart, don't be stupid, don't be silly. Don't ignore all the recommendations. You do what's right and keep your family. And if you're elderly and sickly and all that stuff, you got problems and autoimmunes and all those things, do the right thing by yourself, okay? And those of y'all that are going strong and looking for opportunity and you're real close on a contest, now's the opportunity. Okay, the 8 Steps book. Who's that up there? Is that Evan? Show me one of my 8 Steps books, will you? The 8 Steps, don't throw it. I was just kidding when I said that. I want you to break nothing or knock over my Clorox. All right, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get you right here, buddy. You ain't tricking me. That's right. Keep an eye on that one. All right. Okay. This 8 Steps book, I need for you to think about this, okay? Oh, by the way, the whole world right now feels like they're out of control. So if you text them and say, how'd you like to get back in control? How about this? How would you like to get in control? Could you imagine if you had 1,000 people selling right now? Right now, if you had 1,000 people, oh my God. Well, guess what? 90 days from now, it's coming. So right now, if you talk to people about getting back in control, this is a big deal because people are so out of control. So when you talk to them about getting back in control, if I could talk to you about getting back in control, if I could talk to you about staying in control while everybody else is losing control. This is psychological pinch points that you can just rock with. Okay, so these 8 steps, I'm going to talk about how do you use these, and these are tricks. These are things. What is that? What's that movie? Jedi goat tricks, or how men make goats faint, and it's Jedi goat tricks. Y'all ain't never seen. Y'all need to watch more movies. That's part of the problem right there. This is mind tricks that I'm going to talk to you about that you can do to yourself. You can teach other people, but the main thing is to do it to yourself about making money. I'm a trickster on my own mind. Like if there's anybody, people say, you manipulate somebody and get rich. You trick somebody into doing the right thing. Let me tell you the person I'm a trickster is most with is my head. These are my tricks, okay? And my tricks, a lot of Jeff Bright's words, but I'm going to tell you how I trick because he's always saying, I know how you do that. Okay, watch this. The steps, the 8 steps, need to be in line with your inner motives. Like what's driving you? Don't set goals to achieve. If we don't set goals to achieve these steps with autonomy. In other words, if I tell you prosperity, inspiration, and eternity, if I tell you that and it's not autonomous, it's not you, you're not going to persist. Okay? So they have to come from your own motivations rather being set by me because you won't stick with them. Okay, so let's do this. Let's keep it simple. Prosperity, inspiration, eternity. If you poll the Gallup poll, if you poll millions and millions of people, everybody says the same thing. They're tied into 3 things. Prosperity, inspiration, eternity. Having fun, which is inspiration. Making money, which is prosperity. And eternity, which is make a difference. People want to feel like, especially talk about these millennials. Everybody's like, I want to make a difference. I want to have an impact. I talk to people every day. I'm talking to a guy named Monty. And I hope Monty's listening. If anybody has his number, text Monty and get him on here. If Monty said, I just want to make a difference in young people's lives. And I said, right. In other words, what you got to do is take these 3 simple things and personalize them. For me, I love talking to all those kids from UNCG. To me, that's eternity. Does that make sense? To me, I get excited about that. What do you get excited about? How do you tie eternity in to making a difference on your terms? Do you like giving away? Some people like today. Today I bought lunch for everybody at the Alliance from Prego's, my favorite restaurant. Because when I picked up food there, it was quiet. And you could just see the desperation in their heart. See, to me, that is eternity. That is making a difference. So I told him, I said, hey, well, first of all, I'm talking to a guy sitting there. He said, man, it's crazy going on in the world, right? I said, yeah. He said, what do you do? I said, I work over at Alliance. He said, I work out at the Crest Box Manufacturing Company. They make boxes for the Crest toothpaste. Apparently all the Crest toothpaste is made around here. He told me where it's made, out there in, I forget, out of northern Greensboro. He said, yeah, and we make the boxes for it. He said, he said, about 100 people working over there in manufacturing, making boxes for Crest. He said, I bought everybody lunch because I want to support Pragos. I said, that's a good idea. When'd you buy lunch? He said, Thursday. I said, I'm going to get it from our guys Friday. Because see, to me, having that money to buy extra and support Pragos is eternity, right? That ain't making money. It might be, you might call it inspiration if it's fun and inspires other people to do something like that. But does that make sense? Like, you got to personalize what we're doing. Inspiration to me, I was just texting my son. We plan on flying back to the island we live on. We live on the island, Treasure Island now, and we're going back down there. And I was like, you gonna stay here? Because school's out, right? Because of the fear, undoubt, and the fear, uncertainty, and the doubt. School is out, and I said, you can go back with me. You can stay at home. He said, I got to just sit around, but that's a better place to sit down there. I was like, yeah, that salt air heals you, keeps you safe and stuff. He's like, yeah, that's a better place to sit. See, to me, that's inspiration that he's going to be on the jet with me going back to my island. You know, by the way, it's not my island. A lot of people share it. It's not a tiny island. It's a big island. But that's fun to me. Does that make sense? Having the money to do it is important. So how much money you want to make, if you would personalize it, you're more likely to stick to the 8 steps if you can personalize it where you own it. Okay? All right, your God, your kids, your wife, your children, your marriage, your future, your retirement, your inspiration. But let me tell you something. Tie it into those 3 because you know that's what the whole world wants. You just got to twist it into your shape and make it real personal so that you can sell it. Because you got to buy in to do these 8 steps. Because they're so simple, they're simple to not do them. They're easy to not do them. Tony Carter down there, he showed me a couple new stretches. Because like, what do you call that, sciatic nerve thing? And then my shoulders with using a phone all the time. And I'm going to tell you what, these stretches work. But if you don't watch out, you'll go the whole day and you ain't done them. I did them 4 out of 5 days. And it's just, look at here. See, I can move my arms. Yesterday I was like, it's right here. It's curled up. But it's so simple not to do them. The same thing with these steps. They're so easy not to do the 8 steps if you ain't careful. But you got to personalize the meaning, the inspiration, the have fun, make money, make a difference. Okay. Number 2. The steps need to be viewed, the 8 steps need to be viewed as growth goals, not maintenance. Growth goals are those that we look forward to, we're excited about, look forward to, excited about. Maintenance goals, we have to maintain to avoid loss, to avoid money, to avoid losing money. Wanting to change, the positive impact has more of a lasting effect as sustaining the inconvenience of said changes, which contributes to the procrastination of the 8 steps. So let me give you kind of my words. If you feel like doing these 8 steps is growth, you're going to be excited about reading, excited about audio. If you feel like it's keeping you from being broke, you're going to more likely procrastinate and put it off. Or if you think it's just maintenance, or you think you're dropping. You have to bring the excitement to it. All right. Avoiding negative versus wanting to change. So here's the deal. If you want to change, it has more of a sustaining. If you're dreading the work, it promotes procrastination. So I really wrote down, it's just a lot about an attitude. If you have an attitude like, if I do these 8 steps, I know I'm going to win. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to change more lives. I'm going to inspire more people. See, if you got that excitement about doing the 8 steps, that's a wanting to change, not a dreading change. Does that make sense? And it's not maintenance, it's explosive growth happens. Because see, people think, all right, I got this. Jeff Bright's listening, he's gonna love this. People will give, they say, I'll give you my left arm to have what you got. Think about this. If you do the 8 steps, you're gonna get what I got, and you can keep your left arm, or your left eye, or your left eye tooth. You can keep all your things on the left side. All of them. But you got to be excited about the 8 steps as a way to get what I got. Does that make sense? Like, I promise you, I know. Why would I? If you don't grow, if I stunt your growth, if I hurt you, it's hurting me the way this program works. I promise you, I'm excited about your growth nailing these 8 steps. Okay? All right, let's go to number 3. How we doing on time? We're in good shape. Okay. There's this Greek philosopher named Aristotle, and he came up with this word called akrasia. Okay? He also came up with a word called encrasia. Y'all know Bright loves those Greek. I thought he was talking to me about some band that he liked when he said Aristotle. He said, no, he was a Greek. I was like, I thought it was a band named Aristotle. He was like Arrow something else. But akrasia is the state of acting against your better judgment. It's when you do one thing, even though you should be doing something else. You're doing this, and you know you ought to be doing that. Loosely translated, you should say that akrasia is a lack of self-control. It's what prevents you from following through. Doing it again. What you set out to do. The reason for akrasia has to do with behavioral economics, a term called time inconsistency. Time inconsistency refers to the tendency of the human brain to value immediate rewards more highly than delayed gratification. And that is such a predictor of success in life. Delayed gratification. Understanding the pull of instant gratification and being able to resist helps you bridge the gap between where you is and where you wants to be. Okay. All right, give me back. All right, here we go. Akrasia. Think about this. Y'all have heard me say it from a different, this is akrasia, this is an old Greek philosopher. Akrasia means when you do stupid stuff instead of smart stuff. Encrasia is when you do the right thing and don't do the wrong thing. Okay? So, I remember reading this in Goals by Brian Tracy, same book that I got this coin idea out of. When I got this coin idea, this is called Goals by Brian Tracy. It's how to get everything you dreamed of faster than you ever dreamed possible. And in that book, he defined intelligence. He defined intelligence as taking a step in the direction of the eventual goal that you want to obtain. Stupidity would take a step in the direction opposite of the goal that you want to obtain. So akrasia, there you go. Akrasia is acting against your better judgment. You know this is how it's going to get you there. But yet, you take a step in the other direction. I was talking to a young man Wednesday morning, and he was talking about, he ain't been married long, and he's like, Bo, I done tried to change her and got in her face. I said, Bo, you done went akrasia right there. And see, I was familiar with that territory because I've been there before, Amber. You've seen me make mistakes. Akrasia, the opposite direction one I want to go. I say, bro, you need to take steps that get you going in the direction with her that you want to go with her. He said, I should have shut up. I said, yeah, you should have just smiled. Does that make sense? Like the step where you want to go. Like, I'd like to write 30,000 this month. And then you get a beer. Versus, hey, I want to write 30,000 this month, and you book 25 appointments. Does that make sense? You think, man, sure would like to write, if you pay 30,000 this month, and you buy a new t-shirt. Hey, sure would like to write 30,000, you buy 2 more leads. Does that make sense? Like, invest in leads. A step that takes you in the direction that you want to go. Taking a step in the right direction helps you follow through. It's like one step leads to another step. How do you eat an elephant? One step at a time. Taking many steps, tiny steps in the right way. All right, when akrasia talks about lack of self-control, believing stupid statements, believing social media, believing stuff that is not true will help you lose control. knowing the facts, following the facts, doing the facts helps you have control. Knowledge is power when you act upon it. So having the right mindset helps you follow through and do the right thing because you got your facts lined up. Anthony Robbins and some of these other gurus, they say when you have a preponderance of evidence of what propels you, when you have this preponderance of evidence, it propels you into the future. When you have evidence, you know what's real and you don't care what people have to say. It's like, I'm thinking about some of my friends. Like somebody could tell you, like, Albright's not trying to help you. And they sitting there going like, that jerk just gave me $100. He gave me a pat on the back and he told me to stick to the process. He told me to stick to the basics. It happened to me. Yeah. But still people don't want you to be successful. So, but if you have the facts, it's like somebody told me the other day, Adam Katz says something bad about me. I said, you got a video? He said, no. I said, he didn't say it. He said, what if I had a video? I said, I'd tell you it ain't him. I'd tell you it was made up. Does that make sense? Because I have such a preponderance of facts about Paul Roberts, a preponderance of facts about Fitz, facts about Jeremy Patton, that no matter what I hear, I go like, I got my mind made up. I got my facts. Does that make sense? I'm going to proceed. It's like thinking that 30 appointments won't help you. I'm going like, bro, you done missed out on the facts. Booking 30 appointments. And Menachino did it. Van Thoff did it. Tim Long did it. Right over here, Stephanie's doing it. You understand? Like I got my facts. Megan Wood's doing it. They doing it. So I got my facts. So now it helps me follow through. This thing about this time inconsistency. I have been called an old man when I was in my 20s. What's your name, sir? Kenny. I've been called an old man because I'm thinking about what it's going to be like when I retire, thinking about grandkids. I got one kid married, ain't thinking about no kids. I got another kid that he ain't married, he ain't thinking about no kids. But I'm going to have grandkids one day. I was thinking about the time when my kid was going to be 22 and 25. I was thinking, when Haley was born, I was thinking about her wedding. People said, no, because I was told that if you think about the end, you'll do more now. But people that think about right now don't get as much done. Does that make sense? It's like they don't think the wedding's coming for that child. It's like they don't think they're going to get old and can't wipe their own rear end. It's going to happen, people, if you live. Like if you just live, you're going to get to that point, you're going to need a cane. You're going to have eye problems. You're going to have step problems. Like people have flat houses, they say, that way I don't have to go up the steps. And they're young, but when they go and get old, they're going to have to use the steps. Does that make sense? My house at the beach, 3 floors, so I got an elevator on it. I say, it's got an elevator. That's good shape. When I get old, I'll be able to get anywhere I want to. Just slide onto the elevator. Does that make sense? Like, people have a time disorder. They think too much about now and not about tomorrow. I'm trying to think about tomorrow as much as I can. Life insurance, will, trust, financial planning. I'm always trying to think like, all right. Success in life means getting where you want to be. Planning helps you get where you want to be. Planning akrasia gets you where you want to be. Planning akrasia is you plan on doing something stupid that takes you in the wrong direction. So this is a trick. Passive income. Menachino talked about it at the TWC on Wednesday. Passive income, you must think about tomorrow, because right now you can print money with us, right? You can just print money. People scared to death, uncertain, doubt, fear, unknown. You can print money. But if you can get other people printing money, you can get what's called residual income. That requires thinking about tomorrow when your back's hurt, when your knees hurt, when you can't drive, when you can't see, when something's wrong with you, when you want to be gone for 2 months. You want to go tour the world, you want to tour Africa, you want to tour some country, you want to be gone for a month. You want to have money coming in. That's thinking ahead. That is akrasia. Akrasia is just party down. Okay, all right, number 5. This one, I love this one right here. Commitment devices. The introduction of commitment devices can help you lock in your future 8 steps behavior. It's your choice to make in the present what controls your actions in the future. For example, you could reduce overeating by purchasing food in small individual packages rather than bulk size. In other words, find ways to automate your behavior beforehand rather than relying on willpower in the moment. Be the architect of your future, not the victim of your future. Okay, I love this. I think this is funny. Commitment devices. All right, let me show you one of my commitment devices. So you see how I'm doing this like this? Watch this. And my dental flossy things right there. I got them right there. You with me? This is a commitment device. Does that make sense? I got them right here. Does that make sense? Check out this commitment device. My white paper. I got all my commitment devices at home. I got my strategy. Guess what my commitment device on here? It's called my calendar. What I'm going next, who I'm going to talk to next, my plan. This is my commitment device. This is my commitment device. Does this make sense? There's a commitment device. I don't mean to call you a commitment device, Sue. But here's what she does. I give her a card. I said, the dentist, I need to go to the dentist 90 days from now. Make me go, schedule it, get it on this commitment, right? Missy does stuff for me all the time. These girls, Missy, Amber, I say they control me. They're the real boss of me, right? When people say like, you ain't the boss of me, I have to say to her, you're the boss of me. Does that make sense? The commitment strategy, my wife does it. Jane Commitment Strategies. She's got an auto commitment when I come out from the grill. Did you check and see if it's turned off? I'm like, it's turned off 3 times. But she still activates that device. You with me? Sometimes I don't. I got to put this little flosser thing back up. I'll be using it here, and that's not polite. Okay, all right, tracking with me here. Commitment devices. You got to be an architect of your future. Okay. Present decisions control future decisions. That's why when I'm talking to people, I say things like, when are you going to make phone calls? And they say, tomorrow. I go, what time tomorrow? Where are you going to be setting tomorrow? Who are you going to be with? I'm trying to create a commitment device so that they're more likely to execute. You got to trick yourself with this. This is one of my best ones. When you automate your behavior, you're the architect. When your behavior is random, you're a victim. So if whatever you're going to do you don't know, you're a victim, meaning it happens to you. But when you plan it out, you're an architect. Taylor, our event planning person, she's always trying to get me to plan ahead. Missy, Jane trying to get me to plan, strategize. Where I put my clothes, like to work out in the morning, I have my shoes right here, my tennis shoes. I got my shorts, I got my shirt, I got my sweatshirt to put on before I leave the house. I got my Gatorade stuff or whatever you call it when I drink. I drink on the way in, so I got fluids in before I go in. It's a commitment device. It's creating a habit. It's setting yourself up for success. A big trick of mine is commitment devices. Dental appointments. Most people do annual. Some people do 6 months. I do 90 days because I don't like that. I don't like that white stuff that gets between your teeth. No offense if y'all like it and you smile and you got all that white stuff. I love you, but I don't like it. And they got this machine that sprays water. I like them just massage them, just like that feels so good. I don't tell them that because I'm afraid they'll charge me as much as a masseuse charges me. It's like a mouth massage for 1/10 of the price of, not 1/10, but half the price of a massage, you know. And it keeps all that stuff. Does that make sense? It's a commitment. The other thing is my parents. I ain't never seen my mama's teeth. I ain't never seen my daddy's teeth. Never. You say, well, you saw them in a glass. They were not their teeth. That's what they wore. Both of my parents, they had their teeth beside the bed every night. And I thought to myself, I need to figure out how that happened. Because I'm going to tell you something. My dad, he'd get a blackberry seed up under his false teeth bud, jerk would have a fit. You know. I said, what's wrong? I got a seed up in there. I said, man, I got to get out of that. Ain't no guarantee of the future, but I'm trying to architect my future. Does that make sense? is thinking ahead of this. Having agents selling, you got to be thinking ahead. Post-it notes ain't a bad strategy. Any kind of a commitment device, you'd be like, that's my commitment device where I put my shoes here, put my calendar here. Hey, you know what's a commitment device? Rally points. These people that are scheduling recruiting calls say, hey, we're going to do recruits on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That is a commitment device that your agency manager or your leader has invoked on you. But if you invoke your own rally point, or you put the rally point in your calendar, you just put a commitment device in your calendar to recruit and build. Same thing for setting appointments. Okay, let's go on to the next. That's a big one right there. That might be my favorite. All right, this is a big one. Y'all know communication is a lubrication of financial affairs. Well, reducing the friction of starting the 8 steps by building habits of reacting to process praise, which is related to the method taken and not the person. This is big. Related to the method taken, not the person praise, which is related to the individual. This is big, big, big. I've practiced this for at least 27 years. Getting started and staying started are directly correlated to receiving praise on how the process is being achieved, the strategy. Getting started and staying started is not correlated to the praise received of why progress is being achieved, purpose-driven. Okay, so person example, excellent. You must be a natural talent. That is bad. Don't do that. Process example. Excellent. You must be using some effective methods. All right, now get this. It is proven that stupid recognition or akrasia recognition will jack people up and they will stop performing. I notice that a lot, my ABTF people. They say things like, you're really smart. I like you. You're great. You're doing awesome. That is bad news, because they'll stop doing it because they don't want to disappoint you. But if you say, see, getting on the phone for 3 hours and booking it solid, anybody can do that. Congratulations for making the decision to follow the process. Does that make sense? Recognizing people for the process of how they got there, not their intelligence. Let me tell you something. Those of y'all that are having babies and you got young children, my children have always heard the process praise, not the people praise. Now, the only thing people praise Haley's ever heard is how pretty she is, because I was told by all the psychologists around that your little girl cannot be told she's pretty too often. In other words, tell her about 10,000 times, and then she'll know she's pretty. Then some stupid idiot guy tells her she's pretty, and she thinks that guy's intelligent because he says she's pretty. Because I done told her so many times, she's like, I know, get on with your ugly self. You with me? It's that the process praise is what they've always heard. You must have studied. You must have read the book. You must have went to class. You must have paid attention. Not, you're a genius. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're excellent. You're a natural at this. That is the same thing as slapping somebody. You know what? It's like cotton candy. It feels good at first, but it ain't going to work. Does that make sense? You got to praise the process. That's why when people say, Andy, you must be a genius, I'll be like, I tell you what, I show up, I get hurt, I get back up. I'm a get back upper. I'm the best get back upper, get back on a diet, get back on appointments, get back on recruiting. I'm the best get back owner Annette you've ever met in your life. I'm a process person because I don't want to praise how genius I am. Does that make sense? People say, that's easy. You can't praise a genius because you ain't genius. I go, there you go. You're exactly right. I'm a process person. Okay, so strategy or how is what we're looking for. How you got there, we praise the how, and what we praise the person is a decision to do the how. A decision to do the process is what's huge, okay? So that's why the activity book, and that's why you giving me your numbers is so critical. Because if you give me your numbers, I go, see? You booked 25 appointments. See? But because if you wrote one out, and I know that, I'd be like, yeah, that's one out. I mean, hey, good job, but we got to stick to the process. If we can just keep hammering people on the basics. That's why people say, I'm not making money. I go, are you doing ERS? No, but I'm trying on it. Well, let's not talk about don't try to trick me with the macro. Let's get down here to the micro. Let's talk about your ERS. See, they're tricking me up here. I ain't making no money. You with me? Get back down here to you do the ERS. Did you get a green sheet filled out? I'm gonna hammer and congratulate people on a process. That's also why I don't offend and other people sign. They look at people and say, you stupid, you dumb, what's wrong with you? Don't you care about your family? See, that's people punishment. We should process punishment. Does that make sense? Don't never say, hey, you're this ethnicity or you're a short person. No wonder you didn't do it. Does that make sense? Anything like that won't work. But if you just talk about the methods and the process and the activity numbers, and if you will focus on your activity, hold on a second. This is big. I want to get it. Brag on your process. Brag on your WORK, not your anticipatory skills. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. No. I just worked, did what I was supposed to do. That's what these football players say when they win a championship. What we did is we went to practice, and we did what we were supposed to do, and we did the basics, and then we came in here, and then we educated it. Then we executed it. That's what they always talk about. The winners are always talking about the process and how they executed. Okay. This is the moral of that one. While it's natural for people to love and respect, to praise you, while it's natural for them to love and respect and praise you after you announce an intention to accomplish, studies suggest that when somebody praises you for inherent trait, such as initiative or ambition, it isn't very helpful. It's not helpful to recognize inherent. You're just natural. You're just talented. It is not helpful to finish the task of kicking the can down the road. I like that saying. Kicking the can down the road. In other words, getting promoted to 80% and 200,000 key leader. If you want to kick that can down the road, talking about your genius or talking about your initiative, talking about your ambition is not going to get you there as much as talking about your process. Further, in some cases, it may be less motivating than receiving no praise at all. How about that? Given the choice by telling somebody they're brilliant and then not praising them actually works better than telling them how great they are. But if you compare not praising how great they are, praising the process and how it's going to win every time. Praising your own process. If you start thinking look at this. This is crazy psychology. You start thinking you're smart, you'll stop doing what you're doing. You'll stop accomplishing because you think you're smart. And you don't want to disappoint anybody, and you don't want to fail and prove you're not smart. But when it's a process, you love failure. When it's a process, you don't mind failure. And now you're willing to sustain. Okay, here we go. The setback guilt, that's why if you tell you how smart you are, then guilt sets in and it keeps you away. But when you focus on the process, by saying, that's awesome, practice that step and report your progress weekly. What that does, by reporting the process or bragging on your process, now you welcome failure more. Because in the process is eat up with failure. Like some people are eat up with dum-dum. The process is eat up with failure. The more you can fail. I have failed so many times. Guys text me, I'm disappointed this couple didn't get involved. Me too. Part of life. That's the way it works. It's a process. Not, you could have said this. You should have said that. You're wrong. One, it's a process. Two, it wouldn't work to tell him that. Maybe it's something he should have said different. I don't know or care. I'm focused more on the process, not the people. I'm more focused on a people's process than the people's attitude or the people's makeup. You say, but attitude is the most important. True. You got to have a great attitude, but you got to have an attitude about the process. Also being accountable. Also excitement. Excitement about failure. Excitement about process. How about this? Stroke the strategy, not the ego. Don't stroke their ego, stroke their strategy. We 2 minutes over. Hey, listen, those of you that just joined, there's a way that you can go on ARC. Check with your agency manager, and you can click on all your active agents and inactive. I would download that into an Excel spreadsheet and text those people and say, hey, opportunity of a lifetime knocking right now. You can work from home and make thousands. You can get back on track. You can get back in control of your life. This puts you back in charge. This puts you in control. Text them something, just a little something, pop, and then get them on the phone and start talking about control and find out if they want to get started. We got leads. We got crazy deal on A1s, 2As, 3As. We're creating final expense leads like this. We got so many hot areas. Our mortgage protection leads are going up. Everything's in the right direction. With the world going crazy, we got to stick to our facts and figures. We got to stick to our facts. We got to stick to what we know. We got to be safe. We got to keep our Clorox. We got to keep our wipes. We got to keep our mind and head in the right direction because we're going to walk in wisdom because we ain't walking in fear. Love y'all. Hope this helps. Have a great day. Kill it. That's right.